Happy Monday, friends. Last week in Gearing Up for the Week, I shared with you that I would be shooting with my Nikon D810 and the 24 to 70 millimeter f2.8 lens. I chose this last week because it was kind of a nice all-around setup for me with this mid-range zoom lens to get a whole bunch of different projects done. I had a whole variety of things I was working on last week. This week, I also have a whole variety of things that I am working on, but I do plan to use a whole slew of camera gear. These shelves behind me, they will not have any dust on them by the time the week is done because I'm using everything on them this week, I think. So this week, instead of talking to you about camera gear that I'm going to be using for the week, instead of choosing one setup, I am going to talk to you about something that I have been doing lately and that I will be continuing to do this week and in the weeks in the future to gain inspiration, to learn about art, and to generally relax sometimes. And that is art documentaries. I have been watching a lot of art documentaries lately, and I want to tell you about a couple of art documentary TV shows that I've been watching on Amazon Prime Video, and they're nice little bite-sized chunks of art. So let me tell you about a couple of them that I've been watching. So two of the shorter documentary TV series that I have been watching, which are nice because they give you smaller bite-sized chunks of art history, are number one is called Exhibitions on Screen. And those are less than an hour long each, but creeping up on an hour long each. So a little bit of a time commitment if you're going to sit down and watch it. But they go through some exhibition in each episode. So some art exhibition that is somewhere in the world. Typically these exhibitions have something special about them. For example, maybe some of the works haven't been shown together ever before. They haven't ever been in the same room together since maybe they were painted. And so that one's great for that reason. And then the other one is called Masterworks. And those are much shorter, bite-sized chunks. Those are like 10 minutes each. And they each talk about one work, one painting, or whatever the art may be. And of each of these shows, there are a whole bunch of seasons. I've been watching them on Amazon Prime Video, so I get to see them, you know, for free, sort of. I know I pay for Amazon Prime, but anyway, that's beside the point. So I've just been able to get these little bite-sized chunks of art history into my everyday life, which is something that I crave and something that inspires me. For example, let me tell you about one thing that I actually watched over the weekend that had an impact on me that will be a lasting impact. So this particular exhibition was on Rembrandt's later works. And somehow in all of my studies in college, I never knew that Rembrandt liked to mix things in to his paints sometimes. That's not necessarily an incredibly novel idea. There are a great many artists that have done that through the years. However, I didn't know that he did it. Rembrandt is probably a name that you know, and he was considered one of the best artists of all time, one of the best portrait artists of all time, certainly. And anyway, I didn't know that he mixed stuff into his paints. And that sort of thing wasn't necessarily done at the time. So he was breaking some rules with that because at the time what was considered academically correct, what was considered the best, was for a painting to be very thinly painted, where you didn't see texture on the canvas or wood or whatever it is that you are painting on. Everything would be very smooth. That was considered the height, the best. But he didn't do that. He created some texture in the paint, which in turn created some texture on the canvas or whatever the the whatever the ground was that he was painting onto. So I found that to be kind of inspiring. Number one, when I went to the museum yesterday, I went to the Phoenix Art Museum to do my first Sunday challenge. There's a link up above to a few of my photos that I shared with you guys from the day. But I took particular notice of paintings where there was some sort of texture. And it kind of made me giggle to myself, like, oh, I wonder why they did that. I wonder what they were thinking when they did that, because Rembrandt was breaking some rules when he did it. And, you know, it was all for what? You know, what were those rules for? Because now he's considered one of the greatest. So my point is, break rules. I break rules all the time. As you guys may have noticed, or as you may have commented on yourself, or may have seen others comment on, I break photography rules all the time. So I think it's okay. And I encourage you to do it as well, because if we all did the same thing, they would all look the same. And if Rembrandt hadn't broken some rules and added some chalk to his white paint and whatever else he added to his other paints, who knows if he would have progressed in his style? Who knows if we would be calling him one of the greatest masters of art of all time? Who knows? I don't know. So anyway, that's it for today. And I hope you all check out these art documentaries that I've talked about. Really, on Amazon Prime, there are so many art documentaries that you can watch. I particularly like it because I can turn something on, and if I get bored or if I don't really like it, I can just turn it off. Or I can, you know, press pause and go away from it for a while. So anyway, that's it, you guys. If you all particularly like any art documentaries, let me know, because I'm certain that I will have some free time this week that I need to fill, and I would love to watch something new. That's it, everybody. Stay tuned for all sorts of stuff that I'm working on this week, and we'll see what I come up with for next week's Gearing Up for the Week. Talk to you soon.